With Season 3 of Warzone 2, we've added new weapons to the game, the FJX Imperium, and also the Cronen Squall. With the Cronen Squall being one of the brand new battle rifles in the game, we're going to take a look at it today and see if it falls into the meta or falls more into a miss. The Cronen Squall is a battle rifle brand new to the game, and it is probably going to be an odd choice for a lot of people. It doesn't do any one particular thing better than almost any of the other battle rifles in their categories, and is going to take quite a bit of learning to find useful, primarily I think because the builds are going to be extremely varied, and it may work out or it may not. And I think it's going to take a particular kind of player to get the most out of it. So let's go ahead and go here and look at what the Cronen Squall actually offers. So the Cronen Squall is based off of the MDR or the MDRX. I'm not sure which one specifically, but for what I can tell, it is a MDR from Desert Tech. Now, this rifle has multiple ways it can be built, and it has quite a few unique attachments. One of my most interested ones right now is the 6.8 composite. The 6.8 composite is a new style ammunition for the battle rifle, or any category for that matter. The 6.8 composite offers ammo reserve if you're playing multiplayer, just a standard 6v6, but it also gives you ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, something that is severely lacking in most of the battle rifle categories. You also have all of the standard ammunition types like armor piercing, frangible, hollow point, high velocity, and overpressured. All of which can be very useful, especially once you get it to max level and you can start tuning, as recoil smoothness and recoil control and all of the other sorts is always going to be extremely useful for some of these heavier hitting, faster style weapons. But what I've learned so far is the Lockshot KT85 is one of the best muzzles in the class, and it offers a lot. But the other version of this that I have built for the longer range uses the SA Levelier. So the SA Levelier and the Lockshot seem to be the two most reliable. Lockshot offering vertical and horizontal, and that's really good for close quarters. And the Levelier adding horizontal and vertical, which is a little bit better for long range. With that being said, I think they're mostly interchangeable. I would probably tell you if I had to choose to go with the SA Levelier, as it just seems to be offering a little bit more over the distance things. The weapon has 3 different barrel choices, 2 of which are essentially the same. One offering just a little bit more range and accuracy at the cost of barely any mobility. Right now, I'm leaning towards the HR 6.8 barrel, and I'm going to tell you why. Honestly, purely aesthetically, I think that it looks nice. Whereas the 22-inch LR 6.8 just doesn't look as nice. And honestly, that's just me being super petty and the aesthetics kind of person I am. With that being said, the SB6816 offers ADS speed and movement speed, something that is severely also lacking in the battle rifle category. The stocks offer not a lot to speak of. They are 2 movement speed stocks and 1 recoil stock. The combs have a flinch resistance, which is an odd choice, and then a ADS stock, comb. So both of these, again, pretty odd choices for a comb section. The rear grip, the only one that I actually cared to want, is not unlockable yet. The Zaken ZX grip. So you've got 2 ADS speed stocks or grips and a flinch resistance grip. A lot of flinch resistance for this weapon, while most of its options seems to be going in kind of favor of a close range, medium range battle rifle. Now, with that being said, there seems to be a lot of talk currently from a few of the people I know that the semi-auto is the way to go for this. But if you have used this weapon already, you realize that it starts off as a default in full auto. Now, with the semi-auto, you do obviously lose recoil and you gain a lot of accuracy over range. Now, if you are able to control a semi-auto weapon, which some people are, some people aren't, as they are not always very good at controlling trigger fire. If you're on keyboard and mouse, you'll know that people are more likely to shake their mouse out of shot, and then if you're on controller, you know the problems of trying to pull the trigger multiple times quick enough for it to seem viable. So now let's start getting into the pros and cons of choosing the Cronen Squall. We're going to start with the pros. The pros are this weapon is very unique. And I think that very few things in the game feel or act like this weapon. And I think that that's exciting. As weapons are released for shooters, frequently a lot of them start to feel the same. And you start to get a bit of a fatigue on the idea of, unlocking, leveling, and altering to find new builds for new weapons. This is not the case. This is a very different weapon for this game. So it's very unique and fun to get into. The unique number of attachments to it allows you to try out new things without being too terribly bored of it. The fire rate is pretty unique to itself, and its sound is even pretty unique to itself. It's visually very unique to the game, as it is one of the few bullpups to be available to us. And honestly, to me, it gives off very MTAR vibes, or I guess SA-87 from Warzone 1. Anything of that sort. It gives off just, a different kind of feel comparatively to a lot of its other options. On the other side, I would say its cons are the 20-round mag is primarily mostly viable for solos. Even with sleight of hand, this thing does not reload very quickly. And I'm sure that's part of the, unique flair of battle rifles, is that they're supposed to hit hard and then put you in danger immediately upon trying to reload. So with that being said, the extended magazines almost feel required if you're going to go anywhere past solos. And honestly, I do despise anything that requires me to have a larger mag to feel viable. So that kind of hurts my feelings on it a little bit. And then also with all of the movement speed options that this weapon has and the things that it tries to encourage you to do, I do not feel like it gets the most out of attempting to be a movement speed weapon. It feels like it should be, by default, a really good sniper support. Just because it's being released next to a sniper, it has lots of movement speed options, the damage is pretty high, and the magazine is pretty low, so you feel like you need to be able to make your shots count. So with this one, I feel like it really, even though starting in full auto, wants to lean closer to a single shot weapon and try to take advantage of its movement speed options, which for a battle rifle, it's pretty unique in the fact that it has that. But it feels a bit conflicting. It starts in full auto, but seems to want to go into semi-auto for its best viability. It has a lot of movement speed options for its builds, but it doesn't feel like it fits into a movement speed slot style weapon because of the smaller magazine and the dangerous reload time. With that being said, there is still possible ways to make this work. I have built a long-range version. We're going to put that in parentheses here. And it still feels pretty good. You put a 50-round mag on it, put it to full auto, and you've got yourself at least a pretty decent medium-range gun. With that being said, that is only 30 meters. Now, I am on controller right here. If you were to swap over to keyboard and mouse, I would imagine that you could find the recoil a bit more manageable because, well, let's be honest, keyboard and mouse does have recoil management in spades if you are halfway decent at it. You will notice that even with this left to right muzzle that I've thrown on here, it is still a bit left to right. I would say that if you are a keyboard and mouse player, maybe look at the tie just for the additional left to right, as it will be significantly easier to just pull down and let the left and right not be as much of an issue. But you will notice that the gun still has a bit of a waggle, as I do not believe that this gun was really kind of intended to be a long-range rifle. But again, we're going to make it do that because we know how to break the game. So, again, looking at the Cronen Squall, it is a very unique entry to the Call of Duty weapons series that we have right now. It has its own platform. It's the Hailfire platform. We could see more from this. We could not. It just depends on how they want to extend on the platforms here. Overall, I think that the gun is a bit conflicted, very unique, and could be a lot of fun for those of you who are willing to take the time to learn something different. And if you're just a fan of battle rifles. I know the battle rifles recently received a lot of love. The SO14, Lackman, F-TAC Recon, and TAC-V all received movement buffs and also standardization for their damages by increasing a lot of their limb damages. So battle rifles are starting to get in a pretty decent place, and this one's brand new. So if you're looking for an interesting and new challenge, try out the Squall, but do not expect this to be in the World Series of Warzone unless we just find something absolutely disgusting between now and then. Thank you all so much for checking out the video. We're going to be doing more of these meta or miss, going over the weapons in the game. We're starting off with the new ones, and we'll go back through some of these ones that have gotten a buff. So if you'd like to see more of these, feel free to subscribe to the channel and watch out for them. We live stream 7 days a week, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I look forward to hearing you and seeing from you. And if you have any more you'd like to see me cover, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, peace!